So, good morning to all of you, students, and let us start. Let us start today with the steel reinforcement in concrete. As I have explained and I have shown you the images that whether it is beam or it's a concrete, within the concrete body, steel bars, which we call it as reinforcements, are introduced. Now, these reinforcements, I think I have shown you the images of reinforcement. See the images. See these images. So, this is known as reinforcement. This image is visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
So, this is known as reinforcement. See this? This is actually one sort of cantilever beam, right? This is column, this is beam. So, this we call it as column beam junction. So, in every RCC structure, reinforcement is introduced. It is obvious that reinforcement provides ductility to the structure, and within the concrete body these reinforcements are introduced. Clear to all of you? Clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So let us see, let us start with this. So reinforcement means steel bars are provided in RCC structure to make our structure ductile. Main and basic property of concrete is concrete is very good in resisting compressive stresses, but it's very weak in resisting tensile stresses. When we talk about RCC structures, both compressive stresses and tensile stresses gets developed in component of RCC structure. Example, see this. Suppose this is beam, front view I am trying to draw, and load is applied. Because of the application of load, the behavior of the beam will be like this. Means deflection will take place. Now, if you see this deflected shape of the structure, you will notice that at top face, compressive forces are developed. At bottom face, tensile stresses are developed. For example, you just take plastic scale and apply force with your hands at both the ends and try to bend that plastic scale in downward direction. You will get this type of deflected shape. The bottom face is subjected to tensile stresses and the top surface is subjected to compressive stresses. So concrete, which is a combination of cement, sand, mud, aggregate, water, can easily resist the compressive stresses. But due to its property tendency that it's very weak in resisting tensile forces, it is very difficult for concrete to resist the tensile forces. We introduce reinforcement. So tensile forces are developed at bottom. So maximum steel main reinforcement we are introducing at bottom, and minimum reinforcement we introduce at top. So this is the importance of providing reinforcement in any RCC structure. So we should have sound knowledge of the probable deflection of any structural component, so that in tensile zone we have to provide the reinforcement or steel bars, and in compressive zone we have already concrete to resist the compressive stresses, and nominal reinforcement has to be provided. So this is the philosophy behind providing reinforcement or steel bars in RCC structures. Now reinforcement in RCC structures I have mentioned here are of three types: mild steel, HYSD steel, high yield strength deformed bars, and TMT, thermomechanically treated bars. So major classification of reinforcement or steel bars are of two types. One is mild steel. We abbreviate by Fe250. Fe stands for iron or steel, we can say, and 250 stands for yield strength. Yield strength 250 megapascal or 250 newtons per mm square. In mechanics of solid or in strength of materials, you might have tested steel rod in universal testing machine. In tensile test, initially when steel rod is subjected to axial pull, stress is directly proportional to strain. Material follows, obeys Hooke's law, and we get initially stress is directly proportional to strain. A straight line is obtained. So at certain particular point, which we call it as yield point, ductile material, in case of ductile material you have seen, we get straight line or sometimes we get curve to and then we draw tangent to this curve, and after certain particular point non-linear behavior starts. So a point from where non-linear behavior starts, that point is known as yield point. So yield point or yield value in case of mild steel is 250 megapascal. So we abbreviate it as Fe250. Then another type of reinforcement which we are using, so HYSD bars, or we may call it as CTD bars. HYLD SD, a high yield strength deformed bars, or cold twisted deformed bars, CTD, or thermomechanically treated bars. So major classification of reinforcement is of two types: mild and HYSD, or CTD or TMT, and their yield strength is 415 megapascal and above. So these are the two types of steel reinforcements which we use in RCC structure, and as I have discussed, these reinforcements are provided in tensile zone in order to cope up with the tensile stresses. In Indian standard code of practice, you will see that the same things are mentioned regarding the reinforcement, how should be the standard practice to use these reinforcements. So in short, there are two types of reinforcements, mild steel and high yield strength deform bars or CTD bars or TMT bars whose yield strength is greater than 415 megapascal. Now, in RCC structures, generally three types of methods exists to design RCC structures. First method is working stress method, second method is ultimate load design method, third method is limit state method. The difference between these three methods, one by one, I shall try to explain you. See, in working stress method, this method nowadays are also used in designing of water tanks, but earlier working stress method was widely used by designers to design columns, beams and all sort of structures. Nowadays, limit state method is applied. So the major difference in working stress method and limit state method is, let us take example of steel reinforcement. If we are designing beam and steel reinforcement, you have chosen HYSD bars, that is FE 415. Now you are designer and you are trying to design this. You know that in your beam you are going to use high yield strength deform bars FE 415. So you have to apply factor of safety for designing, because whenever we design structure we have to take factor of safety, because there are lot of such incidences which may occur during the service life of that structure. We have calculated load assuming that 5 to 6 persons will be there, so we have calculated live load, dead load we have calculated. But imagine if some function or gathering is there on the same floor, 10 to 15 persons may visit, so load may suddenly increase. So there are lot of such incidences which may occur, which we have or designer have to keep in mind. So factor of safety concept is there, and every designer used to take certain factor of safety. So for high yield strength deform bars, you know, we shall discuss in our further classes that stress sigma st value of Fe415, in IS code it is mentioned. In working stress method, 230 Newton per mm square is recommended. Why it is recommended? Because when you are using, designer knows that Fe415 steel bars will be used in beam, suppose example, then designer also knows that 415 Newton per mm square is the yield strength of that steel reinforcement or steel bar. But still, during in his calculations for analysis of beams, designer is taking the value stress sigma st, stress in steel because of tension. The designer is assuming 230. He cannot assume by his own 200 or 190, no. This value is recommended by IS code. In next class we shall discuss Indian Standard Code of Practice 456 also. So it is recommended by Indian Standard Code of Practice, and designer has taken 230 Newton per mm square, that is 230 megapascal. So actual yield strength is 415, but in calculations designer is considering 230, means he has assumed a factor of safety. If you will divide 415 divided by 230, can anyone tell me what value you are getting? You will get 1.79, approximately 1.8. Means yield strength of HYSD bar is 415, but designer as per IS code of practice is taking stress in steel in tension 230, means the factor of safety which designer has assumed is 1.8. Let us take another example. Now in this RCC structure, designer knows that the grade of concrete minimum which has to be used in construction of beam is M20. So M20 I have explained you, characteristic strength of concrete. M stands for mix and 20 is the numerical value. 20 newtons per mm square is the characteristic strength. Means concrete will have compressive strength of 20 newtons per millimeter square. But when designer designs in working stress method, he is taking a value as 7. In IS code, if you will see, sigma CBC is equal to 7. Sigma CBC equal to 7 means what? Stress in concrete in bending compression, sigma CBC. IS code has recommended in working stress method that sigma CBC value to be taken 7 megapascal, 7 Newton per mm square. So actual strength of concrete, characteristic strength of concrete for M20 grade is 20 megapascal. But IS code is recommending only 7 megapascal to choose the value. Means what is the factor of safety applied by the designer? 3. 20 divided by 7. 7 3s are 21. So the factor of safety designer has taken 7. Actual compression, actual stress in concrete in bending compression is 20, but value adopted in design is 7. So factor of safety is 3. So in short, in working stress method, factor of safety is applied to the strength of the material. Factor of safety is applied to the strength of the material. Strength of the concrete 20, you are taking 7, means factor of safety 3. Strength is 415, you are taking 230, the factor of safety is 1.8. In short, factor of safety is applied to the strength of the material while designing in working stress method. Ultimate load design method I shall discuss at last. Now if we talk about this popular method, limit state method of design, which is generally adopted nowadays, in limit state method the strength of the material is taken as it is. If for M20 grade concrete, in limit state method, M20 grade concrete, the compressive strength offered by the concrete will be 20. So in limit state method, we are taking 20 Newton per mm square characteristic strength as it is. No factor of safety is applied to the material strength. If HYSD FE 500 steel bars are used in structure, we are taking, designers are taking 500 Newton per mm square tensile strength as it is in design. In limit state method of design, we use such abbreviations. FY, yield strength. We are taking 500 as it is. M20, 20 Newton per millimeter square. In limit state method, we are using these abbreviations FCK, characteristic strength of concrete. So, strength of concrete, strength of steel is not altered. No factor of safety is applied in limit state method. FCK is taken 20 Newton per mm square, FY is taken 500 Newton per mm square. Strength of material we are taking as it is in limit state method. But we are applying factor of safety to the loads in limit state method. Now applying factor of safety to the loads means, suppose 10 kilonewton is a load. I am taking this example. In practice such small loads doesn't exist. So 10 kilonewton load is acting on a structure. We multiply this load by 1.5, means factor of safety of 1.5 is taken for designing of concrete in limit state method. And in designing, if we multiply 10 by 1.5, we get 15 kilonewtons, and for 15 kilonewton load we design the structure. So this is the basic difference between working stress and limit state method. In limit state method, we are applying factor of safety to the loads. Is this clear to all of you? We are applying factor of safety to the loads. We are not at all applying factor of safety. We are not at all applying factor of safety to the strength of material. We are applying factor of safety to loads in case of limit state method. So this is the basic difference between working stress method and limit state method. And ultimate load design method, very rarely used actually, not that much important. So it's basically a strength concept based method, and these working loads are multiplied with some load factor, and ultimate stresses are calculated while designing the ultimate load design method. So in this way, I have explained you today the basic difference between working stress, limit state and ultimate load design method. In next class, we shall discuss few more concepts related to the design of concrete RCC structures. So let us stop here today.